Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 699, we're going to talk about Deekah, Fractal Theorist, and how the mono blue deck's making green creatures. Yeah, 5 mana, 3/3 human wizard. Magecraft, cast a copy. An instant or sorcery. You create a fractal that has 1/1 counters on it equal to the spell's mana value, which is a shortened version of converted mana cost, because we have to find a way to fit more info on magic cards nowadays. So 4 mana, target creature token can't be blocked. Sweet. So this allows us to play with cards we normally wouldn't deem good enough, right? So the very first thing I thought of when I saw Deekah is, well, I've got to have a Swarm Intelligence in there, because that way I get double. So let's go through our ramps. Not a lot. Soul Ring, Sky Diamond, Seer's Lantern, Pristine Talisman, Letter of Acceptance, Cissei's Ring, Plague Mirror. I mean, why not? Victory Chimes. I really like Victory Chimes, the fact that it untaps, for 2 reasons. It untaps during each other player's untap step, and then you can donate a colorless, essentially. I have actually played this deck, and hey, do you need another mana? I'll give it to you if it means you don't attack me this turn. And you can do that, but since it untaps on each player's untap step, you can do that to everybody, right? So we all have a mana rock. It's a mana rock for the table. And then we have Jace's Sanctum, which is, I'm going to call it ramp. It is 4 mana, but it makes pretty much the deck cost 1 less. And you get to scry 1 every time you cast 1. So the real beauty here is in the card draw. Before we get to that, I'll show you all of these whopping creatures. There's 4. Archmage Emeritus is the all-star of the deck. I'm telling you. Cast or copy, draw a card. I mean, it's okay. Wonder, to give all those fractals flying. Thrumming Bird. Keep in mind the fractal tokens have 1/1 counters on them. So, and then the Wandering Archaic. Now, this is nice. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery, if they don't pay 2, you get to copy it for free. Yeah. So, all of their instants and sorceries, pretty much. I didn't draw this, but I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure this gets killed. Like, always. But let's look at our draw, shall we? Now, keep in mind, things like anticipate. Yeah. Now, we're going to have to work our way up to casting our commander, right? And, I mean, anticipate's a good way to filter. Even if you get it afterwards, you're getting a 2/2 and the anticipate ability. So, you've got to think, we'll go for the absolute worst one. How often do you play Divination? You don't. I mean, there's no reason to. There's a bunch of better cards. But for 3 mana, we get 2 cards and a 3/3 token. Now, if that was printed on a card, that's awesome, right? So, we have Impulse, Opt. I'll do all the little early ones first. Brainstorm, Preordain, because we've got to, get into this stuff to draw through. But then, here's the beauty of it. I'm on a boat. The Treasure Cruise. Now, if you delve it out, this card still costs 8. You're still getting an 8/8 fractal, even if you only pay the 1 mana. And draw your 3 cards. And it probably costs 1 less because of Jace's Sanctum. And you're probably copying it because you've got so many tokens, so many cards. Talent of the Telepath. Target opponent reveals the top 7. You can cast an instant or sorcery. Cast, trigger. Yeah, if you've got Spell Mastery, good chance, right? You can cast up to 2 revealed instant sorceries. So, the other stuff we're talking about, metallurgic summoning, casting an instant or sorcery, you get an artifact, an XX artifact token. So now we're getting double tokens, right? We're getting fractals and we're getting constructs. The Chaos Wand exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery. You can cast it for the free. Yeah. Triggers that cast. Now, Bosium Strip. I'm about out of Bosium Strips. I know it's on the reserve list and it's not, a 50-cent card anymore. But 3 mana, tap it and activate it. If at any time the top card of your graveyard is an instant or sorcery, you can play it. So you get a second chance at all the instant sorceries in your graveyard every turn. So Sift, not that amazing, but when it comes with a 4/4, that's not bad. Maybe 2 4/4s. Maybe it costs 3. Maybe you get, maybe you're copying it. Maybe you're getting 4 for it. Who knows? Opportunity does not see play anywhere else. 6 mana, 4 cards, but yeah, free 6/6 is not bad. Dig Through Time, same thing. Jace's Ingenuity, commence the end game. Now here and then we amass. Yeah. So now we've gotten zombies, constructs, and fractals. Oh my. The Contentious Plan, Inspiring Refrain, Flux. Yeah. And then Theft of Dreams. Now, Theft of Dreams, I'm telling you, is better than probably at first blush. For each tap creature your opponent has in play. Now, granted, it is only one opponent. It does not sum total everybody, but even without the whole fractal construct bonus here, how many cards do you got to draw for this to be decent, right? I feel like you got to draw 3. Because 3 mana for 2 cards, but 3 mana for 3 cards and above, I think that's heck of rate, right? Idol of Oblivion. Draw a card, activate this only if you created a token. Well, we're probably going to be creating tokens every single turn. That's the beautiful part. Most of these are instants. So, I say most of them. Most of your card draw is sorcery speed, but you can, if somebody's attacking you, you can, in response, instant speed, draw a card, make a token, block with it, no harm, no foul, right? So, and there's also the making of the 10/10. Now, Reigns of Power is a beautiful instant. You're going to give them a 4/4 fractal. Because, you cast the Reign of Power, trigger goes on the stack, it resolves, and then, if you don't have this, you're going to trade creatures with somebody. Natural creatures, we have 4, so it's not like we have a bunch, right? But then, the ultimate here, time stop, right? You're done. No, I wasn't asking. You're done. And you get a 6/6 out of the deal. Same thing for Discontinuity. Now, the beautiful part about Discontinuity is it's cheaper. It's 3 mana on your turn. Now, there may be times when you want to end your turn in a now kind of way. If there is a lot going on the stack that you don't care for, I think we're done. Exile that stack. Beacon of Tomorrows. It is an expensive take an extra turn spell. Yes, it shuffles back in. But you get an 8/8 with it, It actually gives you something to do. Now, Follow Footsteps is in here. I'm guessing that, we don't have a whole lot of token generation besides our or I mean, our natural creatures. But the beautiful part here is you can put it on an opponent's creature as well. So there's never a real shortage of creatures. To redirect, I love redirect. No, I think you meant to path to exile your own guy, and you get a 2/2 for your trouble. Solve the equation. It's not a draw spell, but it does. I mean, it's a tutor for most of the deck, right? And it is a sorcery in and of itself. Theoretical duplication. Whenever a non-token creature enters a battlefield under an opponent's control, you get a token that's a copy of it. What? Now, it's just this turn. This is not an enchantment. Obviously, it's an instant. That would be a really cool enchantment. I think it exists, if I'm not mistaken. Geometric Nexus. Now, it's got 9 lines of text. It's got to be good, right? So for 2 mana, whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery, put a number of charge counters on this equal to its mana value. So you cast a 3-drop, it gets 3 counters, right? Charge counters. 6 mana tap, remove all the charge counters, make a fractal. Okay. So I did actually use this, and it had got up to 5 or 6 counters on it before it drew attention and got shot down. But you know what? Something else didn't get shot down. You know what I'm saying? Serpentine Curve, 4 mana. You get a pair. I mean, 1 for this card and 1 for the commander trigger. So let's look at our removal, shall we? Should be no shocker. Every one of these are instant or sorcery. We have Ray of Command. The Act of Treason started off as a blue ability. But yeah, you can borrow that creature to end the turn and get a 4/4. Dismiss. I guess we'll go ahead and roll through the counter magic, because that's kind of, I can see this deck, a build of it, where it's just, Talrans and crazy counter magic. And yeah, Talran probably should be in here anyway. But, so anyway, counter magic. We have Arcane Denial, Stubborn Denial, Hinder. I guess Supreme Will could be. I mean, most of the time I use it for the impulse effect. We have Negate, Overwhelming Intellect. Here again, it's another card we just don't include in our decks a lot because it's a 6 mana counterspell. But when most of your deck is instant anyway, our main phase is going to consist of untap, upkeep, draw, drop a land, pass turn. Yeah. But the card draw off of this, even we get a 6/6 out of it, right? Etherize, Tempted by the Orc. I kind of like this. I've tried to include it a couple times. I think I may have already. I don't know. I've never cast it yet. But we have, I forgot one. Force Spike. We have Ponder. Sleep, I'm telling you, is a game-winning card. People underestimate Sleep all the... That's funny. I underestimate Sleep a lot. Ether Gale, great card. Bounce 6 permanents and get a 5/5. Yeah. Blatant Thievery. That's a big old sorcery. And then Perplexing Test. You get to choose one. Bounce all tokens, bounce all non-tokens. There's a good chance we're going to bounce all non-tokens because we are probably going to be token central here. That way, I have trouble seeing that anybody else is going to be generating more tokens than we are. Maybe creatures, yeah, but not more tokens. Because most of our deck has create a token implied, right? So now for our non-basics. We have the Remote Isle, Lonely Sandbar, Rogue's Passage, Halimar Depths, Pondaland. But then we also have the Biblioplex. Now, the Biblioplex, it's a good card. Well, on the surface, it appears to be a good card. I don't know. I have not played it. But it looks awfully familiar, doesn't it? It taps for a colorless. You have to spend 2 and tap it. Look at the top card of your library for instant or sorcery. The odds are in this deck it is. In the right deck, this is good. I mean, you don't want to throw this in a deck with 4 instants or sorceries, obviously, but, you know. But you can only activate this if you have exactly 0 or exactly 7. Now, there's a comparison out there to Library of Alexandria. I think that's a stretch. I think that exactly 0 or 7. Now, granted, that gives you 2 opportunities, you know, the opportunity at 7 and the opportunity at 0. But there's also a payment of 2. And there's also a restriction of instant sorcery. So it is nowhere near as good as the Library of Alexandria, but I do kind of get them trying to intentionally make, I mean, look at the art, trying to make it as close as they can without it being just super busted. Time will tell, right? Anyway, that is what we have got for Deekah. Super excited that I don't remember exactly how the game turned out. I'm pretty sure I lost, but I think that we all lost because there was like a super combo that had just went off. You know, it happens that way sometimes, right? I'll get it right here in a second. And that is $6.99. That is Deekah. We're going to put $6.99 on the wall. The next deck we put up there is deck number 700. So, we're there. We're there. We have deck number 700 right here. So, you'll have to tune in to see what it is. I appreciate all the support y'all have given me to get up to this point. All the likes, the comments, views, subscribers. Thank y'all so much. 700 is a big milestone, you know. So y'all let me know what you think. And I guess as of right now, I've kind of got my own. What's number 800 going to be? I don't know. They're going to print a lot of cards between now and then. So until next time, we will shuffle and cut.